Hey everybody, it's your girl PJamma for PJamma Life. And today we are reviewing the Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 2, A Star-Spangled Man. So we have another special treat this week with our own David doing a great reenactment. Pat, say hello to the people. And then
What's up, guys? I don't have any reenactment tools. I'm sorry.
We'll have to do some dramatic and turn, Pat. That'll be for next week.
Well, there you go.
All right.
And let's introduce our reenactment guy, David. Take it away, David.
Hello, everybody. Just in case you're too cheap for Disney Plus, we're bringing it to you here before we break the show down. All right. We start off with the new Captain America. But wait a minute. That's not Captain America. That's John Walker. Who is he? What's he is? That's not even the right shield. It's a whole different property. But here he is. Then we've got our heroes. Falcon.
Yay!
And the Winter Soldier with great hair. But they're not really happy. They're not really happy with each other right now. I'm gonna stare at you. I'm gonna stare at you, man. I'm gonna stare at the screen. Ooh, let's get upset. Hey, you want to see another super soldier? Let me find you another super soldier. All right. What do you want? I tore off your arm last time. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Oh,
what?
wow.
My country did this? I don't understand. Yeah, well, I'm mad at you because you didn't keep the shield, man. What's up with that? What's up with that? Hello. Is there a problem here in the neighborhood? Please stop acting this way. Really? But I'm a hero. I'm a veteran. Oh, I didn't recognize you. Forgive my racism. Back to the show. Also, look, we have from another franchise, and she's saying in English because this is how cool she is. It's a war, and it's just beginning. But that's from a different franchise. But I'm a super soldier. Boom, boom, kicks his butt. Boom, boom, kicks his butt. And even kicks this guy's head off. So there we go.
Wow.
And there's the show for you this week, fans. Come back next
week. A great reenactment once again. So for those of you who don't have Disney Plus, we're helping you out quite a bit this week. So why don't we show our clips, which of course probably won't eclipse this great reenactment, but here's for those of you who have Disney Plus, got a little bit of the action.
Your new Captain America.
You had no right to give up the shield, Sam.
Hey, this is what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna come here in your overextended life and tell me about my rights. It's over, Bucky. Besides, I have bigger things to deal with now.
What could be bigger than this? You okay? Those were all super soldiers, Sam.
I know.
I figure out where the serum's coming from.
Yeah, and how in the hell, after 80 years, are there 8 super soldiers running loose?
Super soldiers for real?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well then we gotta work together.
That's not happening. There is someone that you should meet.
This kid, how do you know this guy?
We had a skirmish during the Korean War. We met in 51.
If by met you mean I whooped your ass, then yeah.
One word.
One people.
One word.
One people.
One word.
One people.
Hey,
What's up, man?
is there a problem here? Did I see your ID? Just sir, just calm down.
I am calm. What do you want? We're just standing here
Just
talking.
give him your ID.
No,
so
I'm
we
not
get
giving
the
him
hell out of here.
shit. We're just talking.
Hey, look, is this guy bothering
No,
you?
he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wilson. I didn't recognize you enough.
Wow. Wow. Hey, so David, why don't we have you talk about what your thoughts were about the episode, and then Pat will come in with some information from the comics, and I'll talk about some Easter eggs and some things that I felt about the episode. David, go ahead. Why don't you start us off?
Well, again,
Hey, before you start, hey, let's say hey to Electric Melanin. Hey,
Hey.
Melanin. Okay,
all right.
go ahead.
Well, thank you, Pam. Good evening, everybody. I tell you, again, great episode. Loved it. You saw the interaction here, a little bit of humor, but some serious tension, and and the emotional ethos. A lot of this, I think, kind of the subtext is the plight of America's veterans, and that's coming up here. We're seeing that again with an unknown to me, first a second guy to Captain America in the Korean War, and how he was treated and kind of abused, clearly. And you've got Bucky and Falcon in these situations. I love where we're going. Didn't know what exactly we would see with this John Walker as the new Captain America. We see some human side. He's got a love interest, so that would imply to the audience he's not all bad, even if he is kind of a jerk and he's taken over the shoes of the shield of a guy that we really like. I thought this was fun. I love to see the actress from Solo.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that movie, not because it was a great movie, just because I found it really fun when we all saw it. But it's neat to see her continuing on and getting an opportunity and kicking butt. So to me, a lot of great action, a lot of great subtext in the characters, the interaction, a very nice social commentary there with race and as well. And again, how heroes on the battlefield aren't always treated like heroes on the home front. So this was another big win in my mind.
Yeah. I got some thoughts on that. Pat, go ahead and tell us what you thought.
Well, I can't help but compare some of this to WandaVision. WandaVision was so groundbreaking that these seem to be a little bit flat overall compared to WandaVision, because in WandaVision you're always like, what's going on? This is playing like pretty much a basic Marvel movie, which is fine, and I love them, don't get me wrong, but there's not that element of I don't know what's going to happen next, like you had with WandaVision. You really, I love all the characters, and I do love the interplay they're building it between Bucky and Sam. Super awesome. The whole odd couple maneuver, they got the staring contest, they got everything going on. The social commentary that they're weaving into this, super awesome. Pam hinted that there's a comic book series you should be reading if you haven't read. I sent to Pam before this whole thing started. It was called Red, White, and Truth. It's a 7-series limited edition thing you can get on Kindle. It's like $12. If you haven't read it, read it, because it's really good. The art's not my particular style, but I love the art in it. But the entire story is like, if you don't have like a little bit of welling in your eyes at the end of this, you probably need to really check yourself, because it was really moving, I thought. Really good series. I do like what they're starting to kind of hint at that maybe John Walker. The thing is, both Captain America and John Walker are both products of the wars that they served in. Captain America was in World War II, where everybody served, everybody was part of the war effort. Everybody felt like they needed to be part of the war effort. Everybody needed to, step up. John Walker's part of the Afghanistan, group, where only people that volunteer were people who needed college scholarships. You saw a lot of different types of people coming in. You didn't see senators' sons or just wherever the lottery hit, which, those guys, sure, they went to go serve in, like, the Air National Guard in Texas, George Bush. But you saw everybody had to serve. Whereas, the Afghanistan and the Iraqi wars, you don't see that. You see people that volunteer to serve. So it's a different different kind of a mentality, a different kind of ethos going on.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy. I'm really interested to see where they go. There's only six episodes. There's four more before we know what's happening. So we are a third of the way through, guys.
Yeah.
And they really introduced the bad guys, and they gave you the big teaser at the end for where they're going next with Zemo, who is the big bad. Well, not the big baddie, but a baddie, the instigator of all the problems in Civil War.
Right.
So I really can't wait to see where this goes because I'm really excited. Like I said, it's not piquing my interest as much as WandaVision did because it was such untilled ground, I mean, whereas this is it's a Marvel movie, and I love Marvel movies. Don't get me wrong. I own all the goddamn things on my they're all sitting in my DVD box sitting by my TV. And I watch them regularly because they are comfort food to me. But you need to everybody stay cool. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Pam, I'm sorry.
And I think that this episode this week, A Star-Spangled Man, was probably the most movie version of the series. I mean, this one was almost could have been a movie itself. And it was. And isn't that amazing how they could pack all of that in 43 minutes, I think it was. Yeah. But make you feel like you were just at the movies. I mean, because of the plotting, the storylines, what they're interweaving, the characterizations, all excellent. And I thought that the weaving in and the comic that Isaiah I think it's Bradley, right? Isaiah Bradley is it's Truth, Red, White, and Black. And it's the story of the super serum being used on an African-American soldier. And then kind of it's almost, I think, I haven't read the whole series Patrick has, but it's kind of like, what's happening. And so they're touching on issues of racism in the government and the treatment of the Black soldier. Who fought these wars only to come home and still face, which they fought the war thinking that they were also going to be fighting racism around the world, came home, still racism. So, and then it's also kind of intermingling things like the Tuskegee experiment, where they experimented on Black soldiers and then punished them afterwards. Well, everybody knows the Tuskegee experiment. They actually killed those men. So I was talking about it earlier, and I was like, I didn't think they would go there, but they went all the way there. So I'm like, wow, they are really going to deal with race. And like you saw in the final scenes where after they spoke to Isaiah, they get stopped by the police. Why? Walking while black. Apparently you can't even walk anymore. If you're a Black man just talking to a white person, you can't even walk around without being hassled. So, and I thought that was a really important interplay there to show that even the superhero is having to go through some racism. So I think that is something really that this episode is going to deal, I think, in a way they haven't before with race, just as WandaVision dealt with grief. And so I think we're going to see some of that throughout these episodes, which is a welcome addition, because one of my questions after watching the first one and the second one, and I think this is an important part that Falcon was bringing up, was should a Black man be Captain America? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out and where they take it. So I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to go with it, because I think there's a really interesting to the buddy cop kind of dynamic between Bucky and Falcon is hilarious. When he got him, when he fell out of the plane, and he was like, "Yeah, I got all this on camera, dude."
You're touching my leg. You're touching my leg. Yeah,
That was funny.
But I really like Little Red Wing, so I think we should have a moment to rest in peace, Red
moment of
Wing.
silence.
The little Bebo of the.
I'll make another one. Don't worry about it.
Right. But, and that was a really nice kind of update or upgrade from the comics, where Falcon had his own real Falcon with him.
Yeah,
It made a really great sense there.
Yeah.
Be, a drone in this
Yeah.
world today. So that was kind of a cool thing. But he can get another one. Maybe one that's not. It's a more. Maybe they go to Apple or something, so it's not hack proof. It's hack proof as opposed to the way it is.
He can't go to Apple then.
you could adamantium, and that way they can't break it over their knee like they did. Yes.
Yeah, you got to use Linux.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah. So I'm really looking to see, what's the next phase of it, and I think Dwayne says that I think the better comics have always dealt into some of the deeper issues, and it's true. I mean,
very true.
Comics have been dealing with like real stuff like for decades. They were at the forefront of a lot of issues, and thanks to Stan Lee for that, and Jack Kirby and those guys. They really wanted to push stories that were impacting Americans and really talking about societal issues. I don't think there's any societal issue that hasn't first been addressed in the comics.
Right.
I really can't think of one.
Comics and science fiction both, Pam, really.
Right.
That's really where artists have been able to say, to put up a mirror to the world, and in particular this country, and to say, here's an issue. Here are the basic challenges and issues, but we're taking it away from your point of reference to where something that might, you might be sensitive to. And we get that. And so this is a way to look at something objectively and maybe see the other point of view. Star Trek really broke a lot of ground. You got to praise Gene Roddenberry for that. That original show especially did that. In some ways, not too subtle either, where you had two races fighting where they had the paint.
Yeah.
One side was white and black, then it was opposite, and that was the font. So it was pretty obvious there. It's kind of a guys get with it. But it does allow for that. And that's one of the great things. When people want to quickly dismiss this as just boom, pow, biff, there is that. But there can be so much more. And we've got great artists who are really bringing those stories to the forefront.
Yeah, and where would we be without some of those great stories that really delved into issues that maybe you couldn't talk about, but maybe if it was faced like a monster, you could address it versus, a white guy down the street or a parent beating their kid or, something like that.
You think about it, all the comics over the past 20 years since I've been really into comics, it's always been about us versus the other.
Right.
Whether the other is like alien, mutant, black, whatever. I mean, it's always been about that. And they've really done a good job of trying to help, hopefully, bring kids that are reading these comic books into a little bit more of a understanding type of, viewpoint. And, I tell you what, I mean, I read comics all the time when I was growing up, and they have made me a better person, I hope.
Yeah.
I'd agree. So, thank you, Pam.
I know you most of your life. So
you didn't know me when I was a terrible person. Just kidding. But I'm just saying, generationally, looking at your parents versus you, they may not have read comic books. My parents let me buy comic books, and read them. So hopefully, and Peter Parker loves science. They really did instill good values into people as they read these things back in the 80s and 70s, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you look at even our technology, some of that was based on what was in science fiction. Like the first cell phones were like the Motorola Razors. Those were definitely Star Trek
communicators. Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
You know, the computers, some of the first computers based on some of the things found in science fiction. Your microwaves. I mean, just all kind of things.
Dick Tracy had the watch. He had
Yep,
the communicator watch.
And now
it's hilarious. As you said, computer, my Alexa, which has a wake word of computer, lit up to start answering me questions.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, we're living in the future that they dreamed about, you know,
we are
60,
ish,
70, 80 years ago.
I only wish, travel. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I only wish that our race relations were as advanced as they predicted. But maybe we'll get there. Maybe this will be the last generation we'll have problems. Maybe. I'm hoping maybe our generation or the younger generation.
You know, there was a good little bit of a commentary when Bucky was sliding down the side of the container truck, and he's like, and Falcon swoops in. And he goes, "I thought you were you're pretty spry. You learned some stuff from the Black Panther." He goes, "They called me the White Wolf."
Yeah.
You know, I was like, okay, well, there you go.
And I thought another little funny scene in that scene was when he grabbed the truck and he slid down and Falcon came to get. He's like, "That little girl kicked your ass."
Yeah. Well, you know, and that was a really good gender turning thing because oh look, she's a little hostage, but no, she fucked you.
Yeah.
She messed you up. Apologies to anybody who's offended by language. I apologize, but you know, yeah, she kicked him through the back of the car into the next car. You know,
yeah. That smile she gave him too. I was like, oh,
yes, right before she kicked him. Like, oh, you think I'm just a little girl? Let me correct that. You know,
Surprise. Yep.
So let me ask you where do you think the super serum is coming from? And does the new Captain America have the super serum?
Not yet.
He said he didn't. He said he didn't.
On this, but
I
think he's going to have it, and I think it's going to, just as it accentuated Red Skull and Steve and Steve Rogers. It's going to accentuate John Walker in probably some ways that'll not make him worthy of the mantle of Captain America. Is my guess. I don't know enough about these. Pat, what does the text tell us? What could we expect based on the text?
Well, John Walker is a complicated character. He is morally ambiguous, and like I kind of hinted at, they're both products of different wars. Captain America was a product of a right versus wrong, right versus wrong,
war.
Us versus Nazis. I mean, that's pretty black and white, you know. Whereas Afghanistan and Iraq, you've got insurgents trying to kick people out that are invading their country, but you know, their country wasn't that great. So I mean, there's some real gray. There's a lot of gray. Not a lot of black and white, not a lot of black, not a lot of white, but a lot of gray.
Right.
And he comes from a generation that just does what they're ordered to do. Doesn't question the orders, doesn't you know, ask if this is morally right to do this.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, Captain America, you saw that like in great example, Civil War is like, you know, I'm not going to sign the Sokovia Accords. You know, this is not what we do. If I see something wrong, I'm going to fix it. You know?
Right.
Great example, but then you turn into like John Walker's like, well, my superior officer ordered me to do it, so you know I killed the village, you know, or whatever.
Right.
It's a different type of thing, and I can see it going a lot of different ways. I mean, but two totally different Captain Americas, and like I said, and like we've all been talking about, he hasn't had the serum yet, but he's still an alpha male, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Well, yeah.
About, you know, well, he's sitting there slinging the shield around, hitting multiple dummies, you know, and well, looking like a badass when he does it. So, you know, I mean, he's obviously got skills.
Yeah.
Right.
But So he'd be a great Shield agent, maybe, or Hydra.
Yeah.
But is he Captain America? Not quite yet. And like you said, Pam, the super soldier serum does have a tendency to extenuate your own whatever your proclivities are. If you're like leaning evil, well, you're going to be evil. If you're leaning good, you're going to be great. So.
Right. And I think one thing that the series is also touching on is imposter syndrome. And so both of them talked about it, with Falcon talking about it, that, he didn't feel like he deserved it. And the new John Walker Captain America is talking about it, where he doesn't feel like he belongs and should take. And that's a common theme. It's called imposter syndrome, where you don't feel like you should be, even though other people feel like you are and you're doing it and doing well, you feel somehow that inside you don't feel like you deserve it. And that's some things that you need to work out on. So I think part of this series is also going to be dealing with that. And that, I think, is the main reason why Falcon in part didn't take up the mantle. But now that we see there's this whole other storyline about with Isaiah Bradley, there's another thing going on too that has to deal with race. And imagine that this is going to be a thread woven throughout this episode until he's ready to fully accept, because that argument they had was just fantastic. And gets to that. So I'm hoping that they delve into that, because a lot of people do feel that. And that, I mean, we've all probably felt that when we've gone to an honor, somebody has recognized us for something or given us an award or a promotion, and you didn't feel ready, even though you probably really were. So this is something that I hope will be an important theme in this show. So I'm looking forward to more of that. And another little Easter egg that I was looking at was that Isaiah's grandson is Eli Bradley, who is one of the Young Avengers. And so, so in the storybook, so maybe we'll see some of a Young Avenger kind of thing come out with this I don't know. They only got 6 episodes, so
there's not a lot to build on. Yeah.
Right. But I heard there was going to be a Young Avengers show or something with Young Avengers. So I don't know if it's a new animated series or how, or something. But I did hear something about a Young Avengers series coming out. So we'll see. I hope so. That would be great. And then they could kind of move the series further, because some of these guys are getting a little long in the tooth. So you're gonna need to bring some young dudes in and young women in to kind of help with this storyline in the future. So maybe this is laying the groundwork. So we'll see. Yeah. So do we have any other thoughts about the episode?
Go ahead, John. David, sorry.
I am John Walker.
I'm John Walker.
Yeah, he is John Walker. Did you see he had his representative?
David, you're going to be John Walker in this.
I'm curious to see where we go, where again, this journey of the heroes and the different paths. It's been, it's fascinating. And again, Pat was right. I mean, the way WandaVision was, it's nothing like this, which to me really speaks to just, this is a menu of so many different things. You can if you like Marvel, hey, we got this show, we got this, we got some snarky humor, we got a buddy comedy. I'm really excited. I am saddened to know that it's only 6 episodes. To know that we're already that far in, but I'm excited. We'll see who will take the worthy place of becoming the next real Captain America.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on this, Pat?
Well, I'm just like I said, we're a third into it, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we're going. They did kind of tease at the end. John Walker's not that great a guy.
Yeah.
The whole little thing with him and Sam having that talk at the end, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you're gonna follow our rules," and they're hinting and they're leaning towards, and they're going to show you, I suspect, over the next 4 episodes, John Walker's not a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's morally compromised, whereas Steve Rogers was never morally compromised.
Right.
He was always bedrock. Here's right, here's wrong. Yes, you're on the right side. You're on the wrong side. Whatever. Mm-hmm. But I am really interested to see where they go with it. The buddy comedy, can't wait to see. The staring contest, bring them on.
Well, we saw from the very first trailer that Sharon Carter is coming back, and
they're waiting. Yep.
So maybe she'll make her appearance next week. And usually about halfway in, we kick it up even another notch. So next week, oh my goodness, it ought to be completely off the chain next week. So I'm looking forward to it. So also, what we don't want you to forget is starting next week, we're going to start our Oscar crawl. And then also on PJamma Life, I'm also back to doing my book to movie reviews and focusing on Oscar movies. So I'll be reviewing the United States versus Billie Holiday, which, if there's an article in the Politico about the hunting of Billie Holiday that's online right now, read it. It's a fascinating story, a part of a book, Tracing the Dream, about the war on drugs by Johann Hari, Hari, that the movie is based on. So I'm going to be reviewing that, and as well Nomadland, directed by Chloe Zhao, and the book by Jessica Bruder. So if you want to join me in that, I'm going to be doing that in the next couple weeks. And then next week, we will start with the best actress category. For next week, we'll split our time. We'll talk about The Winter Soldier, and we'll talk about the best actress nominees and movies and give you our picks. And we'll do that for each category April until we get to the April 25th, which is the Oscars, which I might do a live view of my opinion on the Oscars. So we shall see. But join us next week and at PJamma Life, and we will see you. Say bye, fellas.
See you guys.
So long, everybody.
All right. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.